This audacious move by 10 ASEAN is about to destroy the dollar's reign.
10 ASEAN nations are on the verge of de-dollarization. The members of the ASEAN have agreed to promote their native currencies.
China is the biggest direct foreign investor in Africa and is now a major investor in other parts of the world. It is rivaling the IMF and the World Bank in loans to developing countries.
Several countries, including Saudi Arabia, Egypt, the UAE, Algeria and Bahrain, have said they want to join BRICS. Senior political leaders have been suggesting that the dollar's dominance may fade. Members of the Asian Clearing Union, the ACU, gathered in Tehran for their annual meeting. And guess what took the center stage of discussion? It was de-dollarization.
Have you ever wondered what would happen if a whole region decided to change the rules of the game? Are ASEAN countries leading a revolution in international trade? Could this be the start of a new era in global economics? Today, we're diving into the ballsy move by 10 ASEAN countries that have decided to ditch the US dollar in favor of their own local currencies for trade. This monumental decision is not just about changing currency, it's about changing the future of their economic landscape. These nations are paving a new path towards economic self-reliance, enhancing their stability in a world of financial unpredictability. By embracing local currencies, they aim to buffer themselves against global economic shocks and deepen their regional economic ties. It's a strategic pivot that could encourage other regions to re-evaluate their dependence on dominant global currencies and chart their own courses. What could this mean for global trade and economic policy? The ripple effects of this decision could be profound, challenging the status quo and inspiring a chain reaction among other nations. This could lead to a more balanced global economy where power is not concentrated but shared more equitably. Join us as we explore the potential impacts and the bold journey of these ASEAN countries stepping into a new economic frontier. Picture a team of 10 players, each from a different background, deciding to change the rules of the game they've been playing for years. That's what's happening with ASEAN, comprising Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. These 10 nations are gearing up to make a bold switch from using the US dollar to adopting their own local currencies for trade. Leading this daring charge is Indonesia, with President Joko Widodo at the helm. The goal here is clear: cut down on the dependency on the US dollar, which has been like a universal rulebook for trade. This strategic shift is all about gaining more control over their economic destinies, much like a group of neighbors deciding to generate their own power instead of relying on the national grid. By using their own currencies, these countries aim to shield themselves from the roller coaster rides of the global market, which can be as turbulent as a stormy sea. This isn't just about stability, it's also about solidarity, strengthening ties within the region, much like building a stronger fence together to keep the whole neighborhood safe. The potential benefits are huge. Imagine these countries as a row of dominoes. If one falls, it's likely to impact the others. By boosting their economic autonomy, they can not only prevent one domino from causing a chain reaction, but also build a more resilient economic structure. This kind of independence can lead to a healthier, more sustainable growth pattern, like planting a garden that's designed to thrive in the local climate rather than relying on imported plants that may not suit the environment.
Now, what exactly does de-dollarization mean? In simple words, it means reducing the US dollar's dominance in global markets. And how exactly is this done? By substituting it as the primary currency.
Imagine living in a house where every change in the weather outside causes chaos inside. That's been the situation for ASEAN countries, constantly dealing with the unpredictable storms of global financial fluctuations and shifts in US monetary policy. These conditions can sway economies like a boat on rough seas. In response, these nations are now considering a significant change, moving away from the US dollar to local currencies for their trade. This decision isn't made lightly. It's like deciding to weatherproof your house to withstand any storm. By switching to local currencies, ASEAN aims to build a kind of economic shock absorber, cushioning the impact of external financial tremors. This move is like communities deciding to use locally sourced materials to strengthen their infrastructure. It's about creating a self-sustaining environment that's less affected by distant storms. Moreover, using their own currencies can bind these countries closer together, forging stronger economic ties, much like neighbors who share resources and help each other in times of need, thereby building a resilient and supportive community. The benefits of such a switch are multifaceted. Not only could it reduce the unpredictability brought about by reliance on the dollar, but it also promotes a sense of unity and collective strength among the ASEAN nations. This shift is envisioned to foster a more integrated and robust regional economy, similar to constructing a fortified bloc where each building supports and enhances the stability of the next. Think of ASEAN as a neighborhood where everyone decides to start using a new type of local currency to make transactions smoother and keep more wealth within the community. To make this big shift, they're setting up a few key tools and agreements, much like installing new roads and communication lines to ensure everything runs smoothly. First up, they're looking at bilateral currency swap agreements. Think of these like neighbors agreeing to borrow and lend things directly to each other instead of always going through a store. This means countries can directly exchange their own currencies without converting to dollars first, making it easier to handle sudden needs or stabilize their money in shaky times. It's a bit like having a direct phone line to your neighbor, ready to use whenever you need it. Next, they're beefing up regional payment systems. This is like upgrading the neighborhood's internet connection so everyone can communicate faster and more reliably. By enhancing these systems, cross-border transactions become smoother and more efficient, cutting down on delays and confusion that can happen with international trades involving dollar conversion. It's about making the whole process as seamless as sending an email from one friend to another. Lastly, trade agreements are getting a makeover to include provisions for using local currencies. This is similar to creating a neighborhood rule that encourages everyone to shop locally. By incorporating these provisions, businesses are encouraged to use regional currencies for trade, which gradually reduces dependency on the dollar. This shift can help local economies flourish, much like a garden that thrives on homemade compost rather than imported fertilizer. Through these mechanisms, ASEAN is not just dreaming about a more integrated and self-reliant economy. It's building the infrastructure to make it happen. ASEAN countries are charting their own course, deciding to reduce their use of the US dollar. This shift allows them to tailor their economic policies to better meet their unique needs. This independence is not just for show. It has real benefits such as enhancing the value and stability of their currencies, which in turn attracts more foreign investment. With the strengthening of their currencies and an improvement in financial stability, ASEAN is not only bolstering its internal economy, but also becoming more appealing to international investors. This boost in economic status can lead to more prosperity within the region, much like a vibrant local market benefits the surrounding community. The impact of ASEAN's decision extends well beyond its borders. It may lead to a wider move away from reliance on Western financial systems, a trend known as de-dollarisation. As other regions see ASEAN's success, they might also begin to focus on economic resilience against global uncertainties. Given that ASEAN's GDP is close to $4 trillion, this shift could have a significant effect on global trade patterns and currency dynamics, encouraging others to rethink their energy and economic strategies. This movement towards local currencies could transform the global economic landscape, bringing about a new kind of financial stability that relies less on any single currency or country. This evolving situation is a crucial part of the global economic narrative, pointing towards a future where more communities can achieve economic stability and independence.
If the U.S. currency is not the global standard around the world, it could move more up and down. It could become more volatile, as well as as far as the stable coin that we're dealing with right now.
Think of ASEAN's move away from the U.S. dollar as the first domino in a long line. As this domino falls, it's likely to start a chain reaction, with other regions watching closely and possibly deciding to follow suit. This could mean other groups of countries might also start to look inward, choosing to bolster their economies by relying more on local currencies and less on the dollar. It's like a neighborhood watch program that spreads from one community to another, enhancing security and cooperation across multiple areas. This shift could herald a more multipolar global economic environment. Instead of one big player, like the US dollar, dominating the playground, imagine a scene where several strong leaders contribute equally. This balance can lead to healthier, more equitable international trade relationships, much like a team sport where every player gets a chance to shine, making the game fairer and more fun for everyone involved. In this emerging scenario, ASEAN could become a model for others, showcasing the benefits of economic diversification and regional cooperation. This approach not only enhances economic stability within the region, but also sets a precedent for how economies around the world can protect themselves against global uncertainties. As these changes unfold, we might see a more balanced global trade system, where power and influence are distributed more evenly, leading to a fairer and more resilient global economy.
Vietnam in particular is experiencing a trade boom, with exports to China surging 24.4%.
The path ASEAN is paving may inspire similar initiatives worldwide, transforming how nations interact and transact on the global stage. So, as we look to the future, it's clear that the actions of these 10 countries could potentially redefine the rules of global trade, making the economic landscape a more level playing field for all.
So is the dollar doomed? Will the yuan become the preferred international currency?
ASEAN's potential shift from using the US dollar is more than just a change within the region. It's part of a broader, evolving story worldwide. This story is about seeking alternatives to traditional economic models that have primarily been shaped by Western powers. This significant step by ASEAN could mark the beginning of a new era of economic independence and stability, not only for these 10 countries, but also potentially for others around the world. This shift could lead to a more balanced global economic environment, where different regions contribute equally to global stability and prosperity. As we conclude this episode, it's evident that ASEAN's path could serve as an inspiring model for other regions. It offers a practical guide on how regions can foster self-reliance and strengthen their economic resilience. This movement is not just about ASEAN. It's about establishing a new standard that could change the global economic landscape, ensuring that every region has the opportunity to thrive independently. Keep watching as we continue to follow this story, which promises to reshape our understanding and participation in the global economy. Thank you for watching. What do you think about ASEAN's move away from the US dollar? Could this be the start of a major global economic shift? Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and to watch the latest geopolitical news, watch this video here.